Good morning, everybody. You're welcome to today's session. I am Quincy Adimola, representing EduTAMS. You're welcome from whatever parts of the country you are in. You're welcome. Adimola, your daily good morning. I can see you. So please, if you can hear me properly, just kindly drop your favorite emoji in the comment section. So yes, please do that while we wait. So please also like, share, and click the notification bell so you get more informative and educative content on this channel. And also, please click the notification bell. Please click the notification bell also. Subscribe to our channels also. So you're welcome to today's session, which we are treating the topic sensitization on sensitization of BECE on EduTAMS. And when we talk about BECE, I think we all know what BECE is. And for those that do not know what BECE is just more of, oh, you're welcome. BECE is more of the junior YX examinations written for most of our junior school graduates, for them to be certified and for them to graduate. So currently, BECE is on, which is an exciting news. And we want to carry you along and give you the right updates and information for it to be seamless for you on all of our EduTAMS platform. Either you are directly working with EduTAMS Basic or you're working with EduTAMS Essential, which we know Ojisera is one of EduTAMS Essential products. So today we are taking sensitization of BECE, and with me I have our product manager Akindeyin Isiak with me. Hello Akindeyin.
Hi, Quinsley. Good morning, everybody.
All right, you're
Thank you
welcome.
guys for joining.
You're welcome. So, Akindele, we've been getting updates that BECE is out. So, please, can you enlighten us more on what BECE is and what are the right processes we need to even do before we even dive right into the main practicals? What are the major things, the major highlights that we need to do for all of this process to be seamless?
All right, thank you very much, Quinsley. Okay, good morning, everybody, once again. Yes, so I'm sure it's a beautiful morning, whichever part of the world that we are joining from. All right, so basically to get started, so one key thing, so this process or this session will be capturing for both the private schools and also the public schools in the state. So we are going to be looking at the application processes, steps at which schools can apply for the BECE examination, right? So one of the key things for private schools, one of the key things that we need to ensure that we have done is that first, before now, schools that have been employed to um, do their onboarding registration on via EduTAMS portal and also ensure that they have synced their student details to OGSERA. So for private schools, these are critical things that you need to ensure that you have done before you even start the registration process at all. So you need to check onto your MOEST or EduTAMS portal, ensure that you have generated learner ID, especially for your GSS3 students, and also ensure that you have synced to OGSERA, and very importantly as well, ensure that you have also downloaded your onboarding certificate. Right. So once this is done, once these key requirements have been met, yeah, it will be very, very, very much easier, when you're applying for the BECE registration process, which we are going to be doing practical examples on how to do all of that, in today's session.
All right.
For public school, on the other hand, is just log into your OGSERA platform and you'll be able to commence your registration process. One key thing that makes this year registration process much more different from last year is that this time around you're not uploading any student details, so it's not giving you any headache of you trying to type student name or upload student name, because you already have all your students moved from your EduTAMS portal to OGSERA, so you are just importing the student details. So the application process is a bit much more easier this time around. So that's just like a brief around it.
All right, thank you, Akindane. So, I would just like to clarify something. So, you froze for a minute, and you said the more of the eligibility criteria for the basic schools is they must have synced their students into the OGSERA platform. That's EduTAMS
Okay.
Essential, and they must have gotten their onboarding certificate.
Mm-hmm.
While and while they are going to import the students that they've synced when they want to go through this
Yeah.
process. Now, for those in EduTAMS Essential, they do not need to import any students, or do they still need to?
Yeah, very correct. We are going to, walk through all of those stages, when we start the, the process through. So it's a bit much more easier for on both sides. So I'm sure I'm going to be able to answer that question, when we start the, process properly.
All right, then. So, and to our viewers, you've heard that from the product manager. I hope you're following up while we go into the practical session. So, Mr. Kindeng, please go right in, sir. We're ready for you.
All right, all right. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm just going ahead to share my screen. So just a sec while I try to do that. All right, so please let me know if you can see my screen. If my
No,
screen is
sir.
showing, please
No, sir.
please notify me.
Please present your screen again.
Okay, just a sec. All right, and by the way, while we are taking through the session, any other person that have questions, please do ensure to drop the questions in the chat section. And also very important here as well, aside from this first session that we'll be having, we would also be having subsequent sessions between now and next 2 weeks. And the essence of the session is that for anybody that have any questions, more like a question and answer session, we'll be having one by next week. I'm sure Quinsley will share the update with us. But the key essence is just to be able to ensure that each of us have a very smooth registration process. Right. So before the end of the session, we are going to share the update around when is the question and answer, session going to come up again, which today we can ask question and we'll also be able to respond to those questions. So I think we can get started now.
Yes, sir.
All right. So basically, right, to commence the application process, the first key thing we need to do is to visit ogsera.ogunstate.gov.ng, right? So this is the platform in which schools will be able to apply. If for public schools, just visit ogsera.ogunstate.gov.ng, login. So for private school, right, you can log in two phase. You can visit ogsera.ogunstate.gov.ng, login. If you're logging in, you're going to log in with your school portal admin details, right? Your school portal admin details is the same portal admin details that you usually use to log in on your EduTAMS portal, right? You can also use that to log in directly on OGSERA. So for private school, you can just visit OGSERA, then you log in with your SPA details, or you can also log in directly from your EduTAMS portal, right? So if you log into your EduTAMS portal, on your dashboard, you're going to see the Becker application, right? So if you click on the Becker application, it takes you to this page and you see the menu icon, which this will allow you to log into your OGSERA account. So in two ways, if I'm public school, just visit OGSERA, log in. Private school as well, visit ogsera.ogunstate.gov.ng, log in with your SPA details. If you don't want to log in through this place, you can log in through your um EduTAM school portal. So either way you decide to log in, any of it works, right? So once you are logged in, so it takes you to your OG Sarah page, right? So on your dashboard, you're going to see the Becker application icon directly there, right? So just click on the Becker application icon, then that takes you to this page, right? So one key, especially for private schools, right? One key thing which we need to take note of on this page is that you're going to see that it's going to be displaying the total number of learners that you have, right? So this page alone, you should be able to know whether something is wrong or not, right? So it's showing 63 learners. It means that I have synced 63 learners from my school on my EduTAMS portal to OGSERA. It means that I've synced 63 learners to my GSS3 class. So automatically this page tells you that you have only synced 63 learners to for GSS3 in your school. So if you are seeing the number here, if it does not tally with your GSS3 students, just know that you've not synced. Right. I know that most schools, like I know we got that issue complaint yesterday. Most schools usually have issues that I've done my syncing, I've done my, but if you're not seeing the students here, it means that you have not synced the student to OGSera. So what you need to do basically is to go back to your EduTAMS platform and go and ensure that you sync student to OGSera, because some schools usually make mistake in syncing. You only sync for one class, thinking that you have synced for all the appropriate classes, right? So if you are syncing from your EduTAMS portal to OGSera, you are syncing per class. So in this case, go back to your, that's for private school. Go back to your EduTAMS portal, ensure that you sync your GSS3 student and every other classes that are, that are available in your school, right? So once you have ensured that and that has been confirmed, that will tally or it will correspond with the number of applications, number of learners that you have. So once you have confirmed that this is correct, so what you just need to do basically is to click on the create application. This is like you're starting your application process. So once you click on application, it asks you to import GSS3 student. Now this is part of the beauty of it. Now you are not typing any student name, so you are just importing. So once you click on import GSS3 student, it's going to import your GSS3 student for that application. Means is that it's going to bring them in for that application, and you can now comment with the registration. So let's just briefly do that. Just a sec, I'm going to switch my page, right? So once the moment you click on that, so it takes you to this page, right? It automatically brings in all the students for you. Okay, so what you need to do now in this case is that before commencing or proceeding with the application at all, you need to make the registration fee. That's for private school, right? For public school, you just go ahead. Public schools are not making Becker registration fee, right? So public schools, you need to skip. You won't see anything around this Becker registration fee payment, right? So if I'm private school now, for example, so it has imported all your students for you. You're going to go through all of them. You will see all their details displaying for you. So what you need to do now is to make payments for them and commence their registration. Right. Automatically, if you log in here, the page automatically selects all the students that you have for you. And in selecting the student, you also see the description around the payment, right? How much you are paying, right? The Becker application fee, there's the platform fee payment, and there's also the Becker application fee payment, which everything to tallies to 7,500. So what you need to do now is to click on the make payment, right? Automatically, the page selects all the students for you, and it tells you this is how much you are paying for the platform fee, which is 500 per student, and this is how much you are paying for the Becker application fee, which is 7,000 per student. Right. One key thing which you need to be which you need to be very aware of here is that you have to make this. The payment is step by step. You have to make the platform fee payment first before you'll be able to make the application fee payment. So once you are logged in, the page automatically select all your students for you, and it calculates how much you are paying. So just click on the make payment. So this once you click on make payment, this takes you to the page where you'll be able to make your payment, right? So let me just show this page, right? So once you click on make payment, it displays this payment page for you. That's if you are making payment for the platform fee. One key thing you also need to note is that the process of payment for platform fee are not and also Becker registration fee are a bit different. So once this page displays for you, copy out this account number that is displaying here. This is the account number that you're going to make the transfer to. Payment here basically is strictly transfer, which makes it very easier for you to make that payment. So you copy out the account number, minimize the page, right? Copy. Let's see. Let's do a practical example on that. So you copy out the account number, right? Then minimize your page. So you can either use your mobile app or your USSD, right? So just minimize your page, then use your USSD app to make the transfer. Automatically on this page, the page calculates everything, total amount that you are paying. You're going to see it here, right? Including the charges. So that is the amount, this amount that you are going to transfer to this account. Once you transfer the amount to this account, you're going to see it that the page automatically reads that okay, this account has been, or the transfer has been successful. Once that has been confirmed, you just need to click on the confirm payments, right? So once you click on the confirm payment, automatically that's when you'll be able to proceed to the next stage, which is making payment for the BECE registration fee. So let's just take a brief look at that. One key thing that we also need to take note here again is that I've said it. The process of channel of payment is different for each of them. The first one, which is the okay, the first one, which is this is the one you have to pay first. Once you have made the payment, that is when you'll be able to make the second payment. So it's like a step-by-step process. Once you're done making the payment, that's when you'll be able to click on the next one to make payment, right? And clicking on the next one, um, so just a sec, let me reload this page for you. So clicking on this next one allows you to make payment for the BECE application fee, which this one, you already see total amount that you are paying because the page automatically calculates it for you, right? So you automatically see how much that you are making payment for those students. So you click on this make payment. So payment on this one is majorly driven by card. So just know that you'll be using your card payment to make payment for this, while this one is driven by transfer. One key thing you also need to note here is that they have separate payment channel. So don't, if you make payment with this one and you copy this account number, that payment is for the technology fee payment, right? So if you're making payment for the BECE application fee, click on this one and it takes you to the process of making payment, which would definitely be by card. Okay. So one key thing I also want to show here is that, say for example, all these are all the students I have, and I'm not paying for all of them. I only want to pay for maybe 4 or 5. What you just need to do is to remove the one that you are not paying for. So it's not going to calculate it for you. So to remove any student that you are not paying for, the menu box beside it, if you click on it, you're going to see the option of remove student. So let's see if I can do a practical example around that. Okay. So if you click around, if say for example, this student, I'm only registering like 5 students for now, right? I don't want to register the other students. So you just click on the menu box beside the student. It's going to show remove student option. So I can remove the student that I'm not registering or I'm not paying for, right? So what this means, let's come back here. What this means is that, so any student that I remove, right, doesn't mean that I can't re-register the student. You can always re-register the student. So what you just need to do majorly is to go back to the create application page. I hope I'll be able to do that. So say for example, I've registered the first set of students. I want to now re-register those students that I remove. So just click on the create application and you will have to import the student again. So when you are importing, it's going to be importing the remaining student that you have not make payment for. That means that student that you have removed, those are the students that is going to be importing. I want to be able to do that via this page, right? So that's just the essence of what this page is saying. Any student that you are not making any payments for here, you can remove the student. And to remove the student, click on the menu box. You see the option of remove. So click on remove. It's going to remove the student here, but the student is still in your school, right? So once you are done and you are ready to make payment for those students again, just click on the create application button, import the students. So it's going to import those students that you have removed. So you can, comment or begin with the application process. So that is it around the payment process. Again, key thing you need to note here is that you make the payment for that's for private schools majorly, right? Public schools, you won't be seeing all of these because you're not the government has already covered everything around the payment aspect for public schools, right? So that's just the key thing that you need to note here. Also, one very essential key thing that you also need to note. Okay, so this is the remove student that I was saying. You see the option of remove student here, right? So one key thing again is that, for example, you make a payment and the payment is not showing successful, or you're not seeing that the payment is successful and you have been debited. So just click on the view payment history, right? So if you click on the payment history, the page is going to show you all the available transactions that you have made, and you'll be able to check the status of those payments, whether you'll be able to see whether they are successful or not. So what this means is that it is very easier at your own level when you make payments for any of this application and you have been debited or the page is not successful yet. You can always check for the status of the payment and update it. Updating the status means that would help you to update whether the payment is successful. And if it is not and you have been debited, you can always use the icon here to reach out to our help desk. So we are always ready to ensure to respond to any of your issues, right? So I'm sure I will be able to show, okay, the page is probably popping up now. So again, if you have any issues around payment, what you just need to do is to click on the payment history, and this page will display all the available payment that you have made. So once this page opens, you can check the payment history and update. So if it doesn't update, use this icon here. That's the help desk channel. Click on it to lodge your complaint to our support team. So they will always be there to take your feedback and quickly help you resolve whatever issues that you might have around that. So let's just go to the next stage. So let's say I'm done with the payment, right? So that's for private school. So for public school now, right? On this page, you're not making any payments. So you're going to be seeing the generate Beckett code. So the moment you are done for private school, the moment you are done with your payment, you see that's when you're going to see generate Beckett code. For public school, you will be seeing the generate Beckett code the moment you import your students. So click on the generate Beckett code. So this action helps to generate Beckett ID number. You're going to see it, that Beckett ID number is automatically generated for all your students, right? So, and once you have generated Becker ID number, the next key thing you need to go to is to proceed to uploading your downloading your CAS, CAS template. And to download the CAS template, by the side menu here, you're going to see the download template, right? You also this analytics here also tells you around these are the total number of students that you have registered, and you have not uploaded any CAS, but you see that you have generated Becker code. So for us that we are in the public school session, once you're on this page, click on the generate Becker code, automatically generate your student Becker ID for all your students. Once you are done, you go ahead to downloading your CAS. So if you click on the download template, this action will download your cast template. Now, downloading the cast template, it comes like in form of an Excel sheet, right? And in that Excel sheet, automatically it comes with all the student name that you have registered, and you're going to see the subject, all the available subject there. So what you are doing here, majorly, is to impute the cast scores for your students. So one key thing which you also need to take note of here is that when you are done imputing all the student score, you save the document on your device, whether you are using your laptop, iPad, or your mobile device, because it works perfectly on a mobile device as well. So you save it. Once you save it, ensure that you do not rename the document. Just save it the way it is. Save it with the name that it comes with, because sometimes, depending on the kind of device that you are using, if you rename it, that might corrupt the file, and when you are trying to upload it, you might have one or two issues uploading the file. So it's usually best that when you are saving this document, do not rename it. Just leave it at the name that it comes with, and just save it on your device. Best thing that you need to just take note of here is that know the particular file or folder that the cast template is saved on your device, right? So once you have done that, the next thing you need to do is just come back to your application page and upload it, right? So, and that's just the key process. And in uploading, so just click on the upload result. So if you click on the upload result, it asks you that select the file, right? So you just click on the browse file, then where you save the document or the sheet, the cast document that you have imputed the score, where you saved it, click on it and select the file and click on upload. One key thing which most schools usually have difficulties with here is that maybe I have downloaded multiple of these scars. Maybe I downloaded it multiple times and I've imputed scores, but I have saved it. But when I'm uploading, when I'm selecting the file, I'm selecting the wrong file. Probably I'm selecting an empty file and I click uploaded. So when I click upload, it's going to automatically show me uploaded successfully, right? So how do you now know if what you uploaded is successful or not? So on this page, right, on each student page, you're going to see upload class subject. So this tells you how many of the subjects you have uploaded, how many of the class scores that you have uploaded for each student. So it means that you're not just uploading and you assume that you are done uploading class for your students. So the moment you are done uploading, double check by the front of each student to confirm the number of class subject that are uploaded for each student. right? So you can always double check. And this page here would also tell you total number of casts that you have uploaded, right? So it's always that easy. So one key thing again, which might also come up here. Okay, so let's go back. Hold on. One key thing again, which I think also came up last year Becky application, was that okay, per adventure I have uploaded the cast for this student, but I didn't upload the cast completely. See, instead of uploading 9 cast subjects, I uploaded 7 cast subjects, right? So for each student, right, you can always clear the cast. If for example I'm supposed to upload 9 cast scores for this student, but I uploaded 7, right? What you need to do is that use this action box by the menu here. Click on it. You're going to see the option of clear cast scores. So you clear the cast scores for this student, then you'll be able to just download the template again. You'll be able to re-upload the cast scores successfully for the students. So that addresses the problem of I uploaded five cast scores instead of uploading 9 cast scores. And you also be able to get note of that by checking the moment you are done uploading, by checking the the notification here. And once you've seen that the number of subjects you have registered for the students is not complete, just by the menu icon, click on it, you see clear cast. So just clear the cast scores for the student, and you go back to downloading the template. Then it comes with the student name, and you'll be able to impute the student there again successfully. So those are just the key processes. Once you are done, it's very, very much easier, around those processes. So those are the key things that we need to take note of in terms of whether we are for public schools or for private schools. So those are the key things that we need to take note of when we are doing the registration process. So I'm sure we can drop our question and answer, because that is just it in summary. And I'm sure we've seen that the process is also arranged in a step-by-step manner, so it makes it easier for us in completing this application process. So that's all the whole process in entirety. So for those of us, I'm sure we have question and answer. So we can always use the chat section to drop our questions. Queensley would help in taking out the question, so we can respond to the question one after the other. After which, I might also address some of the key critical questions that might come up and how you'll be able to fix them. Yes, so thank you, Queensley.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for the enlightening session. Thank you. Thank you so much for the enlightening session. So we have some questions also. Let me just put them. So
Awesome.
okay. So I might have answered some, but I would want you to buttress on some. Okay. Ogunrinde Jacob. So I've responded to you, and like I said earlier, this video is a replay video. You can always come back to this YouTube channel to watch them anytime you like. It's always available for you to guide you through. However, Mr. Kinde, is there going to be a sort of documentation or a go-to for for the viewers to follow up with easily, so they can get guided along the way, sir?
Yes, yes, definitely. Right. Like I stated earlier, one of the key things that we also wanted to ensure for this term or for this registration process is that, for everyone going through the stages, you have a very seamless stage. So we've also prepared documentation guideline that guides you through each of these. The documentation comes with a video and also step-by-step process at which you can, complete your application process. So either Queensley or our media team would share the documentation guideline. So I'm sure it will be shared in the chat section. So we can always pick it from there. We can always pick it from there. And the ministry, I'm sure the ministry would also be sharing the documentation guidelines with us. So that also allows us in, working around all the application processes.
Okay. So I guess this also answers Aziz Kabiru Adetunji's question also. So there will be a manual, there will be a documentation for you to guide you through, sir. And you are going to be getting the links to all of this documentation. So from Shorungbe Ajibola, I guess this question is coming from I don't know, probably it's coming from either basic or essential. So it said, please do not forget the class teacher and HOS comment updates that you promised. Mr. Kinney, please, do you have anything to say about this before we drop the other updates?
Yeah, sure, for sure, definitely, right. Yeah, we did promise that, and that is ready. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a session around how to use that for class teachers and also HOS, right. You'll also be getting the documentation link as well to guide you around how to use the auto comment link for those of us that were in the public school. So it is ready. We will share the update around the link for tomorrow's session. So that's where we're going to share update around how to, use the online, auto commenting aspect on OGSera. So yes, it is. Just watch out for our session tomorrow.
Okay, so I have this any CA 1 to 3 formula.
Okay, I'm sure that will have that one. You have to get your more clarification from the. I mean, I don't know if we have any representative from the Ministry of Education. I'm sure they would. The ZDOs will also further communicate the formula for CAS, but I'm sure they did that in the last examination. So I'm not sure if it changed either. But regardless, maybe we would also double check with them to also ensure that ZUs also helps share the formula for CAS to school so that everyone is just aware when we are uploading the CAS document. However, on your CAS, on the downloaded CAS template, right? So you won't be able to impute more than what has been set. So what this means again is that on your downloaded CAS template, you're going to see what is the formula automatically on that page. When you click on each of the cells to impute the score, it tells you the maximum amount of scores that is there. So that also guides you around what is the formula that has been set for CAS uploaded to be uploaded.
All right, so this is from Shurungi also saying the problem of photo turning upside down has not been resolved. Please help us on this.
Okay, if you mean for Becky, that's I'm sure that those are some of the key things that we've taken proper concentration for this year's examination process. So you just need to ensure that you upload the pictures appropriately. Once that is done, the picture comes out effectively, right? So this time around you won't have the issues of pictures changing and changing. You see the way you upload it. So I'm very sure that issue has been addressed.
Okay. So I think majorly okay, then I have another question on when is the registration closing? When is the registration closing?
Okay. Yes, registration is closed. I'm sure there's a date, there's a timeline that is set for the registration process. I can't really remember, right? So, but I'm sure the ministry or through the ZDU would also share all of these updates again to school so that you can be aware of the dates. But I'm sure there's a timeline, there's a deadline that is set for the registration. It's about a month, I guess. It's about a month. I'm not so sure. But one thing I would also do after this session is to probably reach out to the relevant bodies in ministry again to share the deadline with schools. So ZUs would also share across all the various respective zones. So each schools can also be aware around the deadline for the registration process.
All right, so the other question is saying when is the registration going to start? By Aziz Kabiru.
Well, the registration already started. It started, I think, it started yesterday. So yes, Aziz, the registration is on, is open. So just follow through the process and that we've shared, or I'm sure we've also shared the documentation link on the chat section. So just either follow through that documentation and commence your registration process as quick as possible because registration is on already.
All right, sir. So how can we get the cast of the students?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
How can we get the cast of the students?
All right. So I think that we've answered that in the question. This year is a bit different. So what you need to do majorly is just to start the before you can even get the downloaded cast, you have to ensure that you commence your registration process. In commencing your registration process, log into OGSERA. If you are a private school, again, ensure that you have synced your student from your EduTAMS portal to OGSERA. That is very essential. Then import your student, make payment for the BECE registration fee. That's for private school. Then that generate your BECE code, that's BECE ID number for the student. Then that's when you'll be able to automatically download the student CAS. And again, downloaded CAS come with the registered student that you have registered, that you have made payment for. So you are not imputing any student name. So once you download the CAS, it comes with all your student name. You are just imputing the scores. And if you want to know the formula for the CAS, on the document, each cell that you are inputting the scores, the page automatically tells you the number of what is the formula on each of the page. So that also guides you through the process.
All
Yeah.
right. So having gotten the cast, we have questions on what will change provided the status is successful or whatsoever after successful application. What will change the pending status?
Okay. All right. So let me share my screen for that, so I can just show you what the page will look like.
Okay, sir.
So, for example, the moment I'm done making my payment, right? Say, for example, I've generated BECE code. You're going to see here that you are going to see the paid icon. So it means that you have paid. So if you also want to know whether you have uploaded the CAS or not, once you have downloaded, you have uploaded, this page would also show that you have uploaded the CAS, number of CAS that you have uploaded for each student. The status here would also be showing that you have uploaded the result, which is CAS, yes. You also see all of these notifications to guide you. And this page would also tell you, out of the total number of students that you have registered, how many CAS have you uploaded. But this one will be breaking it down for you in terms of how many CAS subject did you uploaded for each student. Meanwhile, this page just captures the total number of students that you have uploaded CAS for. So it's that simple on that part. So the other part is if peradventure, if it is for payment, right? So if you make payment, for example, say for example, I've made a payment and I'm not seeing anything that I'm supposed to do next. It's not taking me to the next stage. What you need to do is just to click on payment history. So clicking on payment history allows you to check all the various transactions that you have made. Like you can see here now, it's showing that I've made a transaction, right? But it's showing that it's not successful yet. Status is still pending. So what you need to do is just click on the action button here, then you click on check status. So what the check status is doing majorly is to help you confirm the status of that payment. If the status changes to approve, it means that you can go ahead. Automatically, it's going to update. But if it changes to decline, it means that the payment is not successful, right? As it is. So it means that the payment is not successful. So one key thing you need to do here is that once you make a transaction, before you make multiple transactions, come to your, for example, I've made a transaction, I didn't see any process. Before you make another transaction, click your payment history, and you are checking whether that previous payment that you have made is successful or not. Then you check the status of that payment. If it changes to decline, so you can go ahead to reinitiate the transaction. So you don't have a case where you do multiple transactions and you are debited multiple times. However, should in case that happens, right, you can always use our help desk to reach out to our support team, which they will always be there to respond to any of your inquiries and get it solved as quick as possible. So those are the key things that you need to take care of in the process.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this question is please what of the 2021/2022 Beckett placement that is not showing now? So that we can place the learners into the senior school. Like what do they do?
Yeah, so I'm guessing this is from public school. Yeah, so I'm sure some most of those issues have been resolved already. What I might just implore you to do is to um, use the updates channel, including those affected learners in your school, so that our support staff can quickly help you check through that and help you resolve. I'm sure most of those issues around those areas have been resolved. But if it is not yet resolved for your school, use the update channel again to reach out to our support team. When you are reaching out, ensure to include the names of the students, the names and the learner ID of the student affected, so that the support staff can help you check through it and quickly help you resolve the issue once and for all.
All right.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Which scores are we using for the CAS? This question keeps coming up. Which scores are we using for the CAS?
I'm sure I answered that question already, but which I would always respond to those questions.
Okay. So I think Mr. Kine's network has I think he has a glitch in his network. So I'm going to be taking that question. So I think majorly the CAS it is calculated based on the total score the learner had. Oh, Mr. Kinde is back. So no we oh Mr. Kinde is back.
Okay, okay, awesome. I'm sorry, my network, misbehaved around
Yeah.
there. So major for the calculation of the cost again, right? The best bet that I can tell you now is that go ahead to download the CAS document, the CAS template rather. If you download the CAS template, on the downloaded template, on each cell, you're going to see the scores that you're going to see the breakdown that you're going to be able to impute there. But however, one key thing which would also ensure we do is that after this session, we're going to reach out to um, double follow up with the ministry again from the curriculum department or the PRS department and every other concerns, and also the ZDO. So those are key informations that we would also share, or they would also share to ZDO. So ZDOs would also be able to share all of these key informations to schools. So you'll be able to get them. Those information is around what is the timeline for the Becker registration, which I think is about a month, and also again to also remind school around the Becker calculation calculation formula for the CAS templates. However, if you don't want to wait for that, just go ahead to continue your registration. Download your CAS template. In the downloaded template, you're going to see the template already comes with the formula, right? So on each of the page there, you just see the scores that by based on the formula that has been used. So you can follow that.
Okay, so Mr. Kinde. All right, sorry about that. We had a glitch in with our network. So I'm taking another question. It said, our private school Ojisera portal not leaving the dashboard anyway out. So first, I'm going to say you have to first reload, add reload your system. When I say add reload your browser, that's Control Shift R. Then you can also try going to the Sarah platform itself. Then you use your SPA's login credentials to log in. Hello, Mr. Akinen, you're back. Welcome, sir.
I'm trying to understand this question. So what I think might be the issue majorly is that if you're saying that on your EduTAMS portal, you're not seeing the Baker application, or maybe if Olataiwo could help clarify the question much more. But if from your EduTAMS portal, right, you on your dashboard, you're not seeing the Baker application there, so just go straight ahead to ogsera.ogunstate.gov.ng, right? Then log in with your SPA details, your SPA that you usually use for your um, EduTAMS portal, right? So use that one to log in. So once you log into OGSerra, you'll be able to see that Becker application. I know that for some schools on the EduTAMS portal, you might not see the Becker application when you log in, Becker application page. When you log into your, let me show you that. Let me share my screen. So probably that's the same issue that you're having. So just a quick one while I try to show you. So for example, if that's for private school anyway, if you log into your EduTAMS portal and you're not seeing this dashboard, you're not seeing this Becker application, no worries about that, right? So just exit this page and head straight to ogsera.ogunstate.gov.ng and log in with your the same SPA details that you used to log into your EduTAMS portal. Log into it. Once you have done that, then it's going to take you to this page. Automatically on this page, if you are the school portal admin, you're going to see the Becker application. Just click on it. And if you're not seeing it, let me also show you another process that you'll be able to see it. So if you are logged in, if you are not seeing the Becker application on your dashboard, come to the side menu here, click on Unified Examination, Becker, and you'll see the application. So this will automatically take you to the application page, right? But to make it much more easier, that's when if you log in on your dashboard, you're going to see the Becker application here. But if you're not seeing it, just use the side menu here, come to Unified Examination, then Application. So that will take you to the application page. So I hope that answers your question.
All right, so I think we are going to be taking this question to answer all of this. Which one is CAS 1? Like, what is CAS 1, CAS 2, and CAS 3? And people need clarification on that, sir.
So that again is based on the formula that they usually use for CAS. I'm sure this is if you have done the CAS for the previous registration, that might
I'm
be
sorry,
helpful.
sir. I'm sorry, sir. I think it's for what is it like? What they just see CAS. Some of them do not. If some of them might have not done the registration in the past before, so it seems
CAS
strange.
CAS is like continuous assessment score. So I'm sure for most of us that schools that usually do Becker registration, the CAS is the continuous assessment score that usually upload, right? And there's a formula to what is the rating ratio for CAS 1, CAS 2, CAS 3. Again, I've said that the ministry via the ZDO will share update around what's the CAS formula, so that schools can get the full idea around it. However, if you don't want to wait for that, when you download the CAS template, let me share my screen. I thought I was sharing my screen initially. Hold on. Okay. So this is a sample cast, for example. When you download this cast, it comes with your student name. If you click on this box to input the comments, it's going to tell you what is the scores, what is the maximum score. So automatically you're going to know the formula because the cast template or the sheet is programmed to only take based on the formula that has been set, which means that you won't be able to impute above the formula that has been set. So the notification will show you what is the maximum amount of scores that you can input, right? So meanwhile, the ministry via the ZUs and all of that would also share further communications around the CAS breakdown for schools. For schools that are not fully aware about it yet. So there's nothing really to worry about. If you can't wait for that update, or if you not get the update from as regards the CAS formula, the moment you download your CAS on the sheet, you'll be able to know what is the formula that you're going to be using for each of the CAS. Yeah.
All right, sir. I think this is our last question for this moment. What if in the course of registering the students, and some of them are missing? How can we register the missing learners?
Awesome. Awesome. That's a very good question because I'm sure some most schools would also have those kind of related issues. So I'm trying to share my screen. So I'm going to show you like an example. Okay. All right. So let's say, for example, I've logged in, I've clicked on, so I'm on this page. So this page would automatically let you know whether your students are complete or not. That means it's going to inform you whether the student you have here correspond with the student that you have in your school. For those of us that were private school, right, the moment you log into this register, like this 63 learners that is showing here, this shows that you have only synced 63 learners from your JSS3 to OGSERA. So the page automatically informs you around the number of students that you have. So let's say, for example, I have more than these learners. So if, for example, I have like 90 learners for my JSS3, I am only seeing 63. So how do I add them? Which is the reason why you have to, before commencing your application, you have to double check that. First, check the number of student learners that is displaying here. So if you want to do this for private, I'm sure it is private schools that will really have these issues. Public schools won't be having any of these issues, really. So for private schools, what you need to do is to log into your EduTAMS portal. It means that you have not synced those students to OGSERA. So let's show an example. So I'm gonna be able to. So okay, log into your OGSERA portal, right? Log into your EduTAMS portal rather, and you see the point of sync registration to OGSERA. So one key mistake that most schools usually make is that they will say they've sync, but when syncing, you only sync for one class, for example, and you are supposed to sync for each of the classes that you have in your school. So for private school at all, before commencing your registration, ensure that from your EduTAMS portal, you have synced for each of the classes that you have. This notification here on the page on your sync registration to register is also guiding you around the classes that you are yet to sync. Now you can see this notification. The following classes are yet to be synced. So it means that you have not synced these students, right? So you need to ensure that you come here and you have synced for each of the classes that you have. Once you are confirmed that you have synced, right? So on this page, the number is going to correspond with the number of learners that you have. So by the time that you are importing, it's going to import all the learners that you have. So let's even say that, for example, so these are all the students I have imported, but I'm not registering for, maybe this one has left my school, or this one is not doing the BECE registration in my school. What you just need to do is to click on the icon menu box and you click on remove students. So this will remove the students from your registration list. So what this means also is that the student that you have removed, you can also re-register the student back. To register the student, just go back to create application, then import. So this will be importing the remaining student that you have removed and add them back to your registration panel. So is that simple?
All right, thank you, sir. I still more questions are coming in. So we have this question by Emmanuel Ogaji. Can we hear these students' names that are wrongly
Okay.
spelled and some date of birth that are not correct?
Okay, so that's also a very, very big question. And this would also majorly apply to private school, my guessing, right? So that's why before commencing the yes, is it possible to edit? Yes, it is possible to edit, but those ones, like those will come at some extra added charges. That's why before you commence your registration process at all, ensure that on your EduTAMS portal, let me share my screen. On your EduTAMS portal, before syncing your student at all, ensure that you have um hold on. Ensure that you have checked the student name and that their name and gender, their details, everything about them is correct. Right? Ensure that everything about them is correct. So before syncing, I'm sure most of us have already synced. For those of us that have not synced, before you sync, right? Ensure that you have checked that the student name are correct, their name and their gender, their date of birth are correct. So before syncing. So let's assume that you have synced. So these are the names, and you now notice that this name is not correct. right? So later on, there will be option for you to be able to edit, right? But you see that for now, you only see upload passport. So it means that if you have not added the student picture, you can always upload the passport once you are done. Once you are done with the registration, later on you will see the option of edit student details, right? But that one, I'm sure that would come at an extra at a service charge, right? Latest by next week, you should get update around process of editing student details that you have registered. But you'll be able to get the see the option to edit students here, and that would definitely come with a service charge, because that takes a definite in another process trying to edit the student details, which is why you have to ensure that you double check that to ensure that the student name are and their details and everything are correct before commencing a registration. And it does not mean that you will not be able to edit. You would always be able to edit the student name, and there's always a time frame or a timeline for the for the editing, for any form of edit to be made. The guideline around the process of editing student details, for BECE application will be out anytime from maybe probably before the end of this week or next week. So we're going to share that guidelines or that process out to you. But definitely there will be a timeline or time ban around when you can be able to edit any student's details. So it is possible to edit any details majorly. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kinde, for answering all of our questions. And we are hoping that we still have more questions before our time runs out. But before that, I would also like to notify all of our viewers that tomorrow we are going to be having a session by 11 a.m. And the session is going to be on the question and answers on our BECE registration and also on auto commenting. And we are going to be bringing in our experts that will answer all of your questions. So if you know you have issues surrounding it, firstly, kindly use the documentation. If you can't find your way around the documentation, which I know it is very, very comprehensive, also kindly use kindly reach out to our customer support via the help desk. And if you still know that you need to be attended to, please come online tomorrow 11 a.m. We'll be answering your questions and also we'll be treating auto commenting. And also I'm also using this opportunity to notify us that for the on the 5th of April, which is tomorrow, on the 12th of April, which is next week, Wednesday, and also on the 19th of April, we are going to be taking the question and answer series on our BECE registration. So if you know you have issues, please make it a date with us, 11 a.m. That means the first 3 Wednesdays in this month. As the first 3 Wednesdays in the month of April, we are going to be having question and answer sessions. And also, I said tomorrow we are going to be dealing also with our auto commenting, which is the new and latest update on the on EduTAMS Basic. So, Mr. Kinden, we have some questions also coming in. We have incoming questions, and it says,
Okay.
what is all about zinc? Okay, zinc, ma, because I have not heard about it.
Okay.
So I guess she meant sink. Sorry, I guess he meant sink. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So thank you for that question. Stars this. Also, majorly thinking. Let me see if I can share my screen now. So syncing is the process that you have to sync your students. So I'm sure all schools in Ogun State by now knows that you have to sync your students to OGSERA. It's just a way of registering. Or there's a process that was done on boarding certificate that for the digitalization process of the state. So I'm so surprised if you have not heard about this syncing registration to OGSERA. But if you have not, you might need to reach out to the relevant zonal education officer in your area so they can guide you through each of the process, right? So because each schools are expected to have not only sync their registration to OGSERA and also download onboarding certificate, right? I think I'm sure that's compulsory for all schools that are doing WAEC, right? So if you have not done that by now, throughout to this time, So I think it's very, very essential and important that you need to reach out to the your zonal education officers, for in your respective area, so they can, guide you through all of the key things, because these are essential things that you need to do before even you'll be able to start any of the Becker registration process, in the state. So that would be my best suggestion. Or even as regards that, maybe you have probably you have EduTAMS portal already, or this MOES platform that was created for your school, right? So the process of syncing is just from your OG server. I think the best bet is, you know, reach out to the respective zonal education officer in your area so they can, give you appropriate information on that. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So since that is taken, I hope Aziz Kabiru gets when we talk about sync, that's just synchronizing your data into the Sarah. So I still keep getting questions on edit. So this question is coming from Editans Essential. Can we also edit even after registration or import of students at public schools also?
Yes, yes, definitely. Right. So whether public schools or private schools, you'll always be able to edit student details. Right. So for public schools, the process will be much more easier. So for public school, before importing your student details as well, ensure that your respective JSS3 classes you have checked to ensure that the student names are correct. So what you just need to do in that end is that just edit the student name. Right. Once you have done that, you'll be able to, do all of those processes. Again, guidelines. I'm sure for those of us that were at public schools, we already know how we are editing process of editing student names. All right. So I'm sure that will give us a guideline. But when it comes to whether you'll be able to edit after you have registered for you have done the registration for Beckett, yes, definitely you'll always be able to edit student details. Again, the guidelines around, because there's also a timeline for editing for the registration. So the guidelines and everything around editing details will be shared probably before the end of this week or next week. So you should just watch out for that update. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Mr. Akindeni. So I guess we've exhausted our time and we've answered all of our questions. I dare say we've answered all of our questions. So, like I said, please tomorrow make it a date with us, 11 a.m. We are going to be treating auto commenting on EduTAMS Essential, which Ojisera is part of, and we are going to be treating question and answers on Becker registration. And like I said, the first three Wednesdays, that's the Wednesdays in the month of April, we are going to be treating live question and answer sessions on Becker registrations. And I'm going to be having our support team, or we're going to be having all hands on deck to take you through. And if you know you can wait till that time or you need a guide on your own, please use the documentation link sent in the comment section. Please use the documentation link. And also, you think you need a walkthrough by the customer agent, kindly use our help desk. And the information to use our help desk is currently rolling down on the screen. And also, you can just click the headset icon in whatever platform you're using, either it is EduTAMS Basic or EduTAMS Essential. It's going to guide you through and take you to the help desk, in which a customer care agent is going to answer you and support you. Either you are using the EduTAMS Basic platform, you're using the EduTAMS Essential platform. And also, please kindly like, share, subscribe, and also click the notification bell so you get informative and educative content once they drop in and you get updated at all times. So, and I keep getting questions if this video is recorded. Yes, you can always come back to this channel to watch whatever program we have done, either on digital education or on product usage. You can come back here, watch all of our live sessions, and you can use that as a guide through also. So once again, thank you to all of our viewers for joining in. Thank you, Akindeni, for teaching us and enlightening us and taking us through all of the process. Akindeng,
Yeah,
please, please unmute your mic, please. Please, do you have anything to tell us before we wrap up, sir?
yeah, definitely. I
Unmute your
think
mic, please, sir. Okay, thank you.
yes. So the last question around, can the video be downloaded? Definitely it can be downloaded. Even on the documentation link, right? It comes with a video that you can also download the video from there. That one just takes you through the process directly. So you can download the video from the documentation, and you can also check through our YouTube channel as well. You can also download the video for this particular session as well. So you can always do that. So I think on the final note, like Quinsley shared, subsequently for majorly for the Becker registration purpose, because our major goal is to ensure that schools have a very smooth registration process. So you don't have any issues at all. So, like she shared earlier, um, there will be live question and answer session. So if you have started your registration process, you have issues, you want to be attended to live, we are doing a Q&A session starting from Wednesday next week. All right. So every Wednesday starting from next week to the upper one to the end of, I think, to the third week of April, there will be question and answer session, live question and answer session. So you can just come around and ask your question, or or if you can't wait, like you said, use the support channel to your application. And wrapping it up again, remember that for private schools, ensure that you have synced your student details appropriately and ensure that their details are correct. So that will guide you through the process. For public school, it's majorly a key, easy process around all of that. Then, if you have any other issues, reach out to the documentation which has been shared, or double follow up our support team through the help desk channel. So I think that's just it, majorly from my own end.
All right, thank you, Akine. So once again, thank you to all of us, our viewers, for joining in today's session. We hope to see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Please make it a date with us. Once again, I am Quincy Adimola. I'm signing out on behalf of EduTAMS. Please do take care of yourself and have a nice day.